It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Good Wednesday morning to you. We're halfway through the week, and we got some news to start with. We'll talk weather in just a little bit as well.
A contractor in Greene County is now charged with deceptive business practices. The AG's office is charging Glenn Jessen with defrauding 24 customers through his business. Those are Midwest Roofing and Overland Roof Exchange. The businesses are accused of getting money up front to do work and then not following through. The city of Springfield will spend $15.5 million to make improvements to several buildings in town. $6 million will go for historic City Hall alone on a new elevator, restrooms, electrical systems, office space, and more. Also, the Springfield Animal Shelter will get nearly $5 million for improvements and millions more for the fire stations and some other buildings.
Okay. I guess running a city costs money. It seems like every week we do stories about millions and millions, and not just the city, but it seems like it's all the time. We're spending a lot of money as a society. Let's do weather. Rain last night, overnight, and it's basically going to be on and off rain today and tomorrow, and then again on Saturday. So tomorrow, Friday will be nice, 53, mostly sunny, and then Saturday is going to be chance of rain kind of throughout the day. Sunday, and the temperature is going to be around 50, 48, 49, 53, somewhere around there. So that's just the pattern we're in through next week, as far as I can tell. But of course, I'm not an actual meteorologist, so we'll see what happens. All right, back to the news. A Missouri law, I know this better. A Missouri law banning police from enforcing federal gun laws was ruled unconstitutional by a federal judge. The Missouri law had subjected officers who knowingly enforced federal gun laws without equivalent state laws to a fine of $50,000 per violating officer. The laws in question concerned weapons registration and tracking.
It's interesting, isn't it?
That's sure to be appealed by the state of Missouri, but it kind of makes sense that the federal laws trump state laws. That's kind of how it typically goes, and that's what it looks like it is in this instance.
All right.
Although some people would say the Constitution, Second Amendment throws everything, covers everything gun related, and that's an argument that can be made, and I think is being made. Springfield Police Department's annual report from 2022 is now out, and apparently gun violence is a growing concern in the area within the department. Springfield Police seized almost 230 illegal guns last year, and calls for shots fired and people wounded both climbed last year as well.
It's interesting because we recently read a report from the FBI crime statistics where many of the different types of crimes, like property crimes and car thefts, catalytic converter thefts, they had all gone down. So I was a little bit surprised at this.
Well, it seems like there was a small number of people who were stealing catalytic converters, and that was stopped once you catch those people. It wasn't.
Yeah, they had a ring, right? Like
there was a ring going on,
three
and
people that they arrested, maybe more.
Part of that is car theft as well. So, if you stop the criminals, crime goes down.
Yeah. The Stop It to Lock It campaign worked well also. Remember that? The PSA that like Chief Williams and all them did.
To not leave your keys in your car, to lock your doors.
Exactly. But here's the deal. Like 90% or not that, but some ridiculous percentage of cars that were being stolen whenever it was like happening every single day were unlocked and the keys were in it.
Yeah, I know.
What are
we
you
had
doing?
a friend that happened to a friend of ours, which is hilarious. But
yeah, I mean, except for it's not hilarious. It actually really sucks. But our point was like, you can't do that.
Pretty funny.
You can't do that. So, all right, now to this. The Missouri Attorney General's office says the number one complaint from Missouri residents is, do you know?
Calls.
Spam calls.
Unwanted
You
calls.
locked up. You froze up. Spam calls, everybody.
Unwanted calls, yeah.
You look like you're back now, but spam calls. More than 39,000 people complained within the AG's office just for spam calls. The number 2 complaint for the year was in the category of construction, home repairs, and real estate. And rounding out the top 3 dealt with cars. I don't know what specifically about cars, but cars.
Automotive scams, just
Yeah.
scams like that, and the 39,000 calls for spam calls, calls logged to the AG's office, like less than 2,000 for number 2.
Yeah.
So it's a major difference.
Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. The Shepherd of the Hills Conservation Center and Fish Hatchery is closing to the public on Sunday. Um, Here's the kicker. It's going to be closed for 2 years. Now, if you're a regular, you probably already knew that, but we're not regulars. I've been a couple times. I think it's amazing, but I'm not a regular. So I didn't realize that it was closing down for 2 years because they are going to make it 3 times larger. So they're going to be doing some construction. Shepherd of the Hills Fish Hatchery will continue to produce trout during the construction process. And they tell us that about 250,000 people visit the conservation center every year. That's a lot.
That's more than I would have guessed for sure. It's a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Well, it's fun for the children. I know that, and adults too. But it is fun to take the kids, so it's a good place.
All right, set an appointment 2 years from now.
Exactly. So we were talking about spending money. Get ready to spend some more on your cell phone bill if you are with Verizon. The bills are going up. The company says they are raising prices on some of its older cell phone plans to try to get the customers to switch to its newest 5G plan. Those prices will climb starting on April 10th.
All right. Matches everything else that's going up, right?
It's true.
Hey, go ahead. Are you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that with the 5G thing, I can remember seeing stories on the Today Show about some of the concerns with 5G. So it does freak me out a little bit because like you don't see them as much anymore. But I mean, just Google Today Show 5G from a few years ago. And apparently, it's arrived. So here we are.
Okay. Today is International Women's Day, and Convoy of Hope is celebrating the strength and dignity of women around the world. Convoy Women is hosting a now sold-out lunch and celebration in Springfield. Participants will pack up. This is super cool because everybody who shows up for this lunch gets to pack up 5,000 menstrual health kits for Convoy to ship out to women and girls around the world, which are going to play just a big part in keeping the girls in school and helping the women do their jobs. And celebrity chef Simon Majumdar from the Food Network will do a live cooking demonstration during the event today. Sarah will be there. I will be there. It is sold out. It is a sold-out event. So unfortunately, there are no more tickets left. But this is the second year, I think, for it in Springfield. And bigger and better every year. We know Simon Majumdar. We've met him before, and he's just a super cool guy who has a neat story and is a supporter of Convoy of Hope.
I was actually laughing because one of my jobs tomorrow, contractually now for Convoy for me, but one of my jobs is to ask questions to Simon Majumdar. And then Ethan apparently is like fielding like media stuff. And I was only laughing in my brain. Like I didn't feel like I had like it was an appropriate time for me to be like, by the way, Ethan should be asking Simon the questions about food. Cause I'm like, what kind of frozen pizza should I buy? And Ethan actually can like taste something and tell you what's missing. Like, if there's I don't know, whatever. You can cook something up and it can look prepared, but then he'll taste it and be like, this needs a little bit more butter, sugar, baking grease, whatever, like oil. I don't know.
All three.
So I'm the one asking these food questions. And so I am my plan, I haven't done it yet, but once I get there and I see some people that surely I know, I'm going to have them write down questions and then I'm just going to memorize them.
Oh my gosh. It ain't that
Listen,
hard.
I'm not a chef. I can prepare food. I
You're
can
not going to
follow
ask him the
instructions.
he's already talking about the specifics of what he's doing. So you can maybe you're a journalist, so you can listen and then follow along and maybe ask a follow-up question related to that. Or you can ask him, what's your all-time favorite thing that you've eaten? People want to hear about that kind of stuff. So
Okay, so one time though, I went to the grocery store
it
and
ain't hard.
I had to phone a friend, Julie, and said, "What's Oleo?" I didn't even know what it was, and she's like, "Oleo?" Or did I say it backwards just now? Like, I don't wanna sound like a complete moron in
Too
front
late.
of thousands of people. I don't even care. Listen,
There are
I
millions who watch this podcast.
I
Millions.
stick with my strengths is what I'm trying to tell you. And Oleo versus Oleo, whatever it is, now I know, but I didn't know then. And I was glad that it was only Julie listening to me sound like a blubbering idiot rather than the thousands of people who are going to be present in the room. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thousands just heard this, and I think you'll do fine. You don't have to
I
ask specific
I would rather ask
food
questions about
questions.
news and politics, quite frankly. Okay, anywho, moving on. It's your turn.
The newest Flat Creek restaurant, now speaking of food, now open in Bolivar. It's the third Flat Creek location, following the original in Cape Fair and one in Republic. The fourth location is on its way to Webb City. So Flat Creek is taking over the world, and I'm okay with it because that fried catfish is fantastic.
I do know good food. I
I
know how
love
to
it.
taste it. It is tasty.
And this is happening today. The midweek matinee returning to the Gilloys. That's how people. That's how older folks from who have been around the Ozarks for a long time say it. Gilloys. The
Kind of
Gilloys.
like Missouri or
Yeah, similar to Missouri, but remember our former GM used to say it that way, and that's how I learned it
Mike
from him.
Scott?
The Gilloys. Downtown Springfield. 1988 movie Big, starring Tom Hanks, will be playing today. Doors open at 1. Movie starts at 2. $10. You can get a ticket and a concession voucher. So you basically, I think it's worth $8, the concession voucher. So you're basically getting $13 worth of stuff for $10 because the ticket is $5, I think. Free tickets, however, are available to people 60 years old and older. Isn't that nice? Getting closer
That's
every day. All you have to do is visit the Gilloys box office, and I think they're gonna they don't want to offend anybody, so they're going to make you show an ID to prove your age.
that's hilarious. Um, no, I have not seen the movie Big in I bet it's been 25 years since I've seen that movie. But I think I liked it. I think.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing. I've seen parts of it,
Yeah. Well, there you
but
go.
it's cute.
Today,
It's cute, and it's Tom Hanks, so what could
yeah,
go wrong?
exactly. Exactly. Okay, well, have a good Wednesday, everybody. Happy International Women's Day. Um, more, I think more, maybe more celebrated around the world than in America, right? I
Yeah,
didn't even know
I
that
think
that
so.
existed till a couple years ago, and here we are. So
Yep.
celebrating.
But the convoy event, it's the second year for that. They're also doing an event tomorrow in Dallas, the same type of event. Simon will be there as well. They're doing an event in Australia and in Puerto Rico. So
Sweet.
it's a growing event. The Convoy of Hope is working on just to celebrate women,
Yeah,
and convoys work to empower women and girls around the world. So it's cool.
yeah. Very cool.
All right.
Okay. Well, have a good day, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow morning, dark and early. We hope you'll
Thanks
be
for
here.
watching. We'll see you.
And a heads up, the time is changing soon this weekend. Don't forget that. So, yep. Bye.
See you.